Hi, it's Ashley here for Not2Shabby, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my design team project for this week. I'm going to be making this really sweet little Get Well Soon card. I will put all the links below for the products that I'm going to share, and if you do head over to the shop, you can use my coupon code CraftyGirl to save 10% off on your order. So I'll get started by showing you the products that I used, and then I'll get right into the process video. So first up, I used this stamp set by Neat&Tangled called My Favorite Nut. I used all the little squirrels there and then used the little sentiment that says Little Nut. Now I wanted it to be a Get Well Soon card, so I just pulled this set from my stash, which is MFT's Magical Dragon, so that I had a cute little Get Well Soon sentiment. This Band-Aid die is absolutely adorable. It's by My Favorite Things, and it's called Band-Aids. You get two different sizes of Band-Aids. You get the little square that goes on top to give it the actual dimension of a Band-Aid, and then you also get two sizes of hearts to put in the middle, and it is so incredibly cute and realistic. It looks just like a Band-Aid. I love it so much. And then I got this little die here. It was a free with 60 die in the shop, and I just used this little die. I'm not sure the company of this one, but if you are interested, just let Jamie know and she'll let you know if she can get more in, but I love that die so much. I also used the Fawn large stitch rectangle stackables. I used the largest size, and then from the Fawn, I also used the small cross stitch rectangle stackables, and I used the largest size. For the paper, I used this MFT homespun gingham, and it's really nice pastel colors, and I used that pretty pink one. And then, of course, I had to add some glitter with my Spectrum Noir pen, and I put some glitter just on the little acorn and then also on the little hearts that are on the Band-Aid and on the card, and it just gives it a little bit of sparkle and cuteness. So let's get started with the process video. So first up, I'm just taking some white cardstock, and I'm going to use the large stitched rectangle stackables die, and I'm just cutting that out on with the largest die. And then using this cute gingham paper, I'm going to just take the small cross-stitched rectangle stackables from Fawn, and I'm using the largest size from the small set. And it just has the prettiest stitching on it. Now I'm going to use some white cardstock and cut out that cute little peekaboo die there. And I'm just going to use the frame of it, and then those other little pieces I'll just save for another project. Now for the Band-Aids, I'm just snipping these apart with my snips, and I'm going to do the smallest size Band-Aid. I wanted the critter to be able to hold it, so I didn't want it to be too big, so I'm doing the small size, and I do 3 of these, so I cut out the little Band-Aid, and then that little square on top goes in the middle, and it just makes it look dimensional, so it looks like an actual puffy Band-Aid. So I'm just cutting out 3 of those. Then I'm just taking some light pink cardstock, and I'm going to cut out some of those hearts. So I'm cutting out 3 of the small size so that I can use those on the center of the little Band-Aids. And then I also use the larger size, and I cut out another one of the little size so that I can just have them kind of sprinkled around my card for a little bit of accent. And they look so cute. They're the perfect size of little hearts. I love them. So I'm just cutting out a whole bunch of those. And now we can do our stamping. So I'm going to be using the Fawn Jet Black ink, and I'm just stamping out one of each of the little single squirrels there. And now I'm going to do the Copic coloring. So I'm using E55, and then I'm using E53 to blend that out, and I'm going to use that for the tail and the belly of that little squirrel. And then I'm going to use the E55 again just to darken it up and give it a little bit of good dimension. And then I'm doing the same thing on the other squirrels. They're all going to be the same color tones. And then I go back in with the darker color. Now I'm going to use E59 for the darkest portion. And these little squirrels are so cute. I love them so much. Now that spring is here and summer is on its way, these are just going to be so cute to use on some projects. Then I go in with E57. And for this one, I did put the darker color around those little dots on the head, but on the other 2, I don't do it, and I do prefer the ones where I didn't do that. I end up using my white jelly pen to add the accents later, so it's totally up to you which way you would prefer to do it. So then I blended that out with E55. Then then for the little acorn there, I used E18, E15, and E13 for the top part of that little acorn. And then for the bottom part, I use E13 and E11 to blend that out. And then I'm going to color up this little squirrel using E59. And I love how these squirrels' little hands are so cute. You can totally add things to it. That's why I wanted to add the little band-aid. So the one has its arm outstretched, and this one with the hands in front would be so cute if you wanted to add a little heart to it, or a star, or any different type of little image that you had to put in their hands. So now I'm going to do the middle one, and the middle one, I think I did it a little bit darker. Yes, I used E57, so it's the same color family. I just made it a little bit lighter in color, and then I used E53 to blend that out. And then I went back in with E57. That just helps with the dimension of it. And I went back in a third time. Then I'm just taking R20 just to put a little tiny bit of pink on the cheeks. And I'm using my black jelly pen to put the little dots on the eyes and also the little nose. It makes them shiny and it looks so cute. And then I added a ton of accents on these. There was some accents that were already on it in black, so a few of those I just covered up using the white, and it looks really nice. And then I took my white jelly pen and just covered up those cute little spots that were on the squirrel's head. So cute. So now I'm going to fussy cut these out. There is coordinating dies for this set, so I will link that below for you, but I just ended up fussy cutting these ones, and I actually smudged the little white jelly pen, so make sure you let it dry before you start snipping it like I did. So I just went back over it. Now, just using my sewing scissors, I'm going to trim these little cuties out. And I'm just using these sewing scissors that I had picked up a super long time ago on eBay. I love them so much, but if you went to any sewing store, like a fabric store, they would have sewing scissors. And the reason I like the sewing scissors is they're just super sharp, and it has a really, really, really sharp, fine tip, and so it can get into all those little tiny spots. So now my favorite part, we're going to set up the card. So I just have an A2 size card base there, and I chose to use a pink one. I thought it was cute. So I'm putting down the white cardstock and layering it with that little cute gingham pink one. And then I'm just adding adhesive onto this little frame. And there's so much you could do with this frame. You could put it horizontally or vertically, and you can just put all of your cute little critters in there, and it's just a perfect little scene to have little critters peeking out. So now I'm going to put together the little band-aids. Oh my gosh, you guys, these are so incredibly cute. If you like to make get well cards or cards, you totally need this one in your stash, and it's a really inexpensive price for this one too, and they're just so realistic looking. It's incredible. And then all of your little critters could be holding them. So I'm just adding in the little pink hearts there, and I'm just kind of like fussing with where I want to kind of put my little images on here. And I know I want that little guy to be holding one and look like he's kind of handing it to that other little sick one. And I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going to put my little hearts and the sentiments. So I end up using the little nut sentiment and the get well soon from that dragon set. So I'm going to just set that aside while I'm still figuring it out. And I left this part in because I don't want you guys to think that I just make a card and it just like happens. There's definitely fussing about, and this is kind of how I come to my idea. I have an idea to start with, and then when I'm putting all the pieces together, this is kind of what happens, and I kind of fuss about with it, how I want it to look, and it doesn't always even in the end look like how I originally pictured it in my head, but I just wanted to leave this in so you can kind of see the process of how I come to the final card that I'm making. So I stamped down that get well soon, and I put some adhesive on here, and I actually lifted up the frame a little bit so I could tuck the little squirrel in. And then I'm going to use that little nut sentiment there. So cute. I love it. And so now that I have the little nut down, now I can finish up by moving around all the rest of my little images. And I definitely wanted that little band-aid there in the third little square. I think it looks so cute, and I knew for sure I wanted this little guy to be holding that little Band-Aid. So I'm putting that down, and this other little squirrel, he kind of has his head down. He looks maybe a little bit sad, so I thought that was perfect for the get well. It's like he's handing a Band-Aid to that little guy. And then I just move around the hearts a little bit, and I get some sequins out. I thought I would glitter it up a little bit, and plus it adds some cute dimension. I actually made a little mistake when I was putting the little nut sentiment, and I got the tiniest little mark of ink on my card base, and so I just took that little sequin that you can see right below little nut, and I just covered it up and you can't even see it. So lots of times if you make mistakes, you don't have to trash the card. You can just add a little heart over top of it or a sequin and you would never ever know, and you totally can't see it. It's so cute. So I put a ton of sequins on this one. It's a get well card, so I want it to be cheerful and cute, so I'm just filling this baby with the sequins. These are just 4mm sparkling clear sequins. And there's my card. So now that I've got those sequins on there, I also wanted to add some glitter using my Spectrum Noir pen. And oh, it looks like I'm adding more sequins. I think you can never have too much sparkle. So now I'm going to use the Spectrum Noir glitter pen, and I'm just glittering up the little nut and the little hearts there. And that is my card. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll leave a comment, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.